How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Detroit Lions franchise here on Madden 22. My name is Football Fan Forever, and it's time for our final game of the regular season. We are taking on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers here in Week 18, but it'll be like a preseason Week 4 for us as we have locked up a first round bye and the number 1 seed in the NFC coming into today's game thanks to our victory last week over the Bills and a 14-2 record. However, the Packers are still fighting for their playoff destiny as a victory today will clinch a playoff spot for them, but a loss combined with a Carolina Panthers victory over the Atlanta Falcons could lead to Green Bay being eliminated from playoff contention. In addition, we beat the Packers earlier this season and our locker room is fired up for the opportunity to sweep our division rivals. The Lions haven't swept the season series of the Packers since 2017, and you have to go all the way back to 1991 to find another instance of that happening, so this is a rare opportunity today. However, Bob Hairston and most of our starters will be sitting as this is essentially a meaningless game for us, and I don't want to risk our key playmakers getting hurt. However, roster limitations mean that a couple of starters, such as Penei Sewell, will play in today's game as we just don't have backups for every position. In cases like our offensive line, where we only have one backup tackle, I decided to give the older player the day off. So Taylor Decker will sit while Penei Sewell will get the start at right tackle, and we make one more roster move to try and help our secondary out, moving John Penisini to the practice squad. He's only played like half a dozen snaps this season, and signing Sergio Sears to take his place on the roster, so we have a full room of 6 cornerbacks, which will allow us to rest our starting 3. I'm most excited to see what our backup wide receivers can do. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Keegan Darby, Nicholas Harper, and Quan Sandridge all have the chance to be our third wide receiver heading into the playoffs, but none of them have really shown the consistency I am looking for, or in Darby's case, really gotten a shot to show what he can do on the field. We'll see highlights from this game as we'll bounce around a bit, kind of like the preseason. But let's not waste any more time as Jack Fox gets us underway Week 18 against the Green Bay Packers with plenty on the line for the Packers. They appear to have struck gold with Jordan Love, who has put up phenomenal numbers all season. He's got a chance to reach 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns in our game here today. And he's certainly not the reason Green Bay is on the edge of playoff contention right now. Green Bay's record is not indicative of the success they've had this season. They've got a top 5 defense, a top 3 offense, and a 72-yard touchdown from Bryce Love to give them an early 7-0 lead on just the second play from scrimmage of the day. And that, unfortunately, really set the tone for our defense here. Our backup defenders really struggled to contain the Packers all day. Antoine Brooks and James Winter getting split here as Brooks just is unable to make the tackle. Winter overruns the play, and Love is able to take it all the way to the house. So down 7-0, out comes David Blau. He'll throw his first passes of the season here against the Packers. He's seen some mop-up duty for us this year, but hasn't needed to throw the ball. On 2nd and 6 against a 4-man rush, he floats this one to Dexter Allen, starting in the place of TJ Hawkinson, and that will go for 34 yards as the rookie tight end shows off his wheels there on the wheel route. I didn't have many opportunities to really target Dexter Allen this season. He was oftentimes playing second fiddle to TJ Hawkinson, but in today's game he'll get the chance to show what he can do. But he's not the only rookie trying to impress. Here is Deshaun Stevenson getting some excellent blocks and splitting the defense en route to a 37-yard touchdown carry. It's his first career rushing touchdown, and he benefited from some excellent blocking here, as Lamont Gillard is able to take care of Kenny Clark in the middle there. Penei Sewell and Nicholas Harper get downfield, and Stevenson is untouched to make it 7-7. Back to the defense we go. Green Bay just needing 2 plays to score last drive, but on first down, there is Derek Barnes, who is firmly on the roster bubble as our 4th middle linebacker on the depth chart, making a nice play there. But Green Bay is able to convert and keep the drive alive. Here's a 2nd and 10 from their own 40, and there is a wide open man across the middle. Jalen Camp with a nice reception there, and that will put the Packers on the edge of field goal range. And a couple plays later, they face a 3rd and 7 inside the 10. Love in the shotgun. He is back to pass against a 4-man rush. All day to throw. He takes his shot, and Antoine Brooks is very lucky to have knocked that one away. He didn't see the pass coming at all and actually deflected this away from Davante Adams with his face mask. So a lucky bounce goes our way. Green Bay has to settle for a field goal. So out comes David Blau and the Lions offense. And he gives the ball to J.J. Dunlap, who will get the Lions' share of the carries. Here's his best one so far to start the day, as he was someone who really impressed me. We will see more of him later on, but the Lions do end up punting, and Green Bay takes over on their own 20, bringing a 4-man rush, and once again, Jordan Love has all day to find Davante Adams. Bringing Adams down on the play is Amani Oruwariye, who lost his starting job earlier this season and really needs to make a good impression in today's game in order to be considered for more playing time next year. And Oruwariye did show up in the rushing game. He made a couple of very nice tackles, but he wasn't super effective, as you will see, against the pass, as a 5-man blitz fails to generate any pressure, and Randall Cobb has all sorts of space in order to get open and take this one down to the 11. Green Bay knocking on the doorstep of increasing their lead. Here's a 2nd and 6 from the 6-yard line. Less than 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Love back to pass. He's again looking to his man there. Same area of the end zone. He was targeting Davante Adams last drive. This time, it's Jason DeGura with the touchdown reception, working against Antoine Brooks in the back of the end zone, and the Packers appear to be picking on number 13 here. That time Brooks has his head turned, but he is not in position to make a play on the ball, as Jordan Love throws his 48th touchdown pass of the season to cap off an 8-play, 74-yard drive for a 17-7 Green Bay lead. Back to our offense. Here goes J.J. Dunlap, and one thing that impressed me about his day here was how consistently he fought for extra yards. He bounced off a lot of tackles without me even really having to do anything. He fought his way through traffic really well, and he was constantly moving his legs forward. Meanwhile, the backup wide receiver battle wasn't nearly as exciting. There's an Amon-Ra St. Brown sighting as he gets open underneath. Feels like it's been a while since I've been able to call his name for something positive. But he makes a nice catch and run there, and a couple of plays later, it's J.J. Dunlap again. Really good blocking in front of him, and plenty of space as he reaches 50 yards on just 7 carries. He's not going to win any foot races. He only has 89 speed, but he's got really good acceleration, and he's just as easy to run with. As David Blau takes a shot to Keegan Darby that bounces off the rookie wide receiver's hands, and Detroit has to settle for a field goal. Back to our defense. We are still struggling to stop Green Bay. Jordan Love with all day in the pocket. He once again finds Davante Adams, who again has a step on Amani Oruwariye. And that really is a mismatch. I shouldn't be expecting Oruwariye to do much against a player of Adams' caliber. But Oruwariye didn't make any plays, as here's a failed pass rush and a blown coverage assignment that will lead to a 24-10 Green Bay lead. Jordan Love really carved this up, especially in the first half here. And I hate to say it, but he's not done yet. It was a pretty rough day for our backup defense, but our backup offense played fairly well. Here's Deshaun Stevenson on a 3rd and 3. I think he got it, but the spot was abysmal on this. Stevenson gets a head of steam here. He needs the 40-yard line or very close to it. And it certainly looked like he was a lot closer than the 4th and 1 they spotted this at. So Detroit leaves the offense on the field. Really nothing to lose here. And J.J. Dunlap gets the first down and a bit more. Now up to 64 yards on 10 carries. And Green Bay started stacking the box to try and contain him. Here is an all-out blitz. And David Blau counters to Dexter Allen, who pulls away for the touchdown. 56 yards to the rookie tight end, as he's certainly made his mark in today's game. And these are the kind of matchups we're looking at. No deep safeties. Allen mashed against a linebacker, and he will beat them down the field every single time. Drew Tankwell just can't keep up, and David Blau makes a great throw with pressure in his face to pull us back within 7 as we approach the 2-minute warning. But Jordan Love will get the football once again, and there's another slant route to Davante Adams and another Green Bay first down. Love approaching 200 yards in the first half on 14 of 17 passing. And here is touchdown pass number 50 from Jordan Love, and this was just a case of inexcusably blown coverage from Amani Oruwariye. I audibled into cover 6 special, which looks kind of like this. Oruwariye on the left side of your screen is just backed off the line. He's responsible for the deep quarter there, and he's locked in on Davante Adams, but then the coverage shifts as Dante Clark takes the flat route on Bryce Love and Oruwariye takes the deep out route, leaving Davante Adams wide open for a 31-17 Packers lead. So with 3 timeouts and just over a minute to go, it's time to see if our offense can make a 2-minute drill happen here. David Blau and Deshaun Stevenson are doing their best. Now just 2 timeouts for them. 43 seconds. Clock is running. Blau in the shotgun, Stevenson to his left, 4-man rush. Blau has time, and that is knocked away from Nicholas Harper, who had a pretty tough day here today. I was hoping he would step up after a really strong week last week, but he just wasn't able to get open easily. As Amon-Ra St. Brown returns to his typical self on 2nd down, dropping another pass to make it 3rd and 10. Blau back to the air, drifting way back, looking in the direction of Dexter Allen, who hauls that one in, as he had most of David Blau's 158 passing yards to this point. He goes over 100 yards on that reception, and it is a beautiful one. Getting both feet in bounds while getting out of bounds to stop the clock with 24 seconds to go. This will give us a chance to take a shot at the end zone, and that's what Blau will do. But Harper is unable to make a tough grab in traffic there. Let's reset and try again. 3rd and 10, 14 seconds to go. 41-yard line. We need to get a little bit closer to try and convert a field goal, as Deshaun Stevenson will not have the first down, but he should be close enough for an Austin Seibert field goal attempt. This from 50 yards right hash to make it an 11-point game here. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good, as Seibert remains perfect on the season. And that will bring us to halftime. Detroit behind and really struggling to stop Green Bay's offense here. They ran all over us. 223 first half passing yards, $150 on the ground, and 34 points. Oofda. Our offense moves the ball well, but we can't keep up with that. But at least the Vikings are winning here. 14-7 over Da Bears. Kirk Cousins, 7 of 9 with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. as the numbers really point to very little defense being done in this game. 51 total points on the board. Both offenses moving the ball well, and the difference really is on third downs. Detroit just 3 of 7, and the Packers only facing 4 third downs the entire half, converting 3 of them. And more often than not, we have had an advantage in that department, but not here today, as Love has as many touchdowns as he has incompletions. So we'll see if our defense can step up in the second half, but we will start the second half with the ball and a chance to make this a one-score game. On 2nd and 10, David Blau is under center. Dunlap is in the game, and Dunlap breaks his way through traffic down to the 25 for a big first down. I just loved watching him play in today's game. He was shifty, he was hard to bring down on first contact, and like I said, he kept fighting for yards after contact. As David Blau is once again finding Dexter Allen down the field. 4 catches, 120 yards for Dexter Allen, which is even more remarkable when you consider that David Blau has only thrown for 162 yards in the game to this point. Our offense is our running game and Dexter Allen, and I guess a little bit of Keegan Darby here as Blau finds him for a nice first down on the curl route. But that drive stalls as well, and we end up kicking a field goal to make it an 8-point game. But unfortunately for our defense, the stoppage provided by halftime did nothing to slow the momentum of Jordan Love against us as he connects with Armani Rogers there for a first down. And he goes empty here on 1st and 10, single high safety from the Lions. And we finally get a legitimate pass breakup as Dante Clark gets his hand in there to force a second down. We'd have a couple more plays made against the pass, such as this one when Dante Clark nearly gets his hand on that one, but can't haul it in. But for the most part, Green Bay was very successful moving the ball against us through the air, and their confidence was enough that they would try and throw for it here in the end zone, and Antoine Brooks, with a chance to change the course of the game with a pick there, drops the interception, and Green Bay is able to escape with a field goal. So it's an 11-point game here, 34-23 Green Bay, as David Blau has time in the pocket and fires downfield. There's Keegan Darby pulling away from some Packers to pick up 25 yards and a first down for the Lions. With Quan Sanders returning kicks, we're getting to see Darby more at the wide receiver position. And on 3rd and 8, Blau again, facing a 4-man rush, steps away from the pressure and fires downfield to a wide-open Deshaun Stevenson, who converts to the 21-yard line. Nice catch there by the rookie running back, as Detroit settles for 3 to make it an 8-point game. But can our defense get a stop here? 3rd and 3. Love with all day to throw. Runs out of time eventually as Julian Okwara gets there for the sack to force a 4th and very long. Our defense finally gets a stop against Jordan Love and the Packers. So we take an 8-point game into the 4th quarter here. Packers on top 34-26. And this will be the first time we have seen Tommy Townsend on the day, punting from inside his own 10-yard line. He gets this one away, and Keegan Darby will have a chance to return this one just outside the hash marks on the left side of the field. He returns this one to the Detroit 47-yard line. But even the short field is not enough for us to punch this one in, as we have to bring out Austin Seibert for a 50-yard attempt. And he drills that one to remain perfect on the season. Green Bay's lead is cut to 5 as our defense looks for one more stop against Jordan Love and the Packers. Love under center on 1st and 10 from his own 43, and he will get this one away as Devontae Adams has a ton of separation there and will move the sticks. Now 2nd and 10 from the Detroit 46-yard line against the blitz, and he's got his tight end inside the 30 down to the 25, once again picking on Amani Oruwariye as Green Bay inches closer to sealing this one. A field goal makes it an 8-point game. A touchdown makes it a 2-score game as Love heads to the air, fires quickly to the right side. Owarie cannot make the catch, and Randall Cobb ducks out of bounds at the 13 as Love goes over 300 yards on the day. 1st and 10. Defense needs a stop here. Love with all day to throw, fires over the middle. That is caught and in for the touchdown. Bryce Love opened this game with a 72-yard touchdown run, and he may have just ended it with a 13-yard touchdown reception to cap off an impressive day for the running back. So the pressure is on our offense here. We need a couple of scores, but in order to do that, we need to convert some third downs, and J.J. Dunlap is well over 100 yards rushing by this point on just 19 carries. He's been a bright spot for our offense as the clock will continue to run here. Under 4.5 minutes to go. David Blau with time fires downfield. There's Darby as that one was floated right over the defender's head. Keegan Darby showing up with another nice catch. That one also going for 25 yards to give Detroit a chance here. 2nd and 10 from their own 27. Blau under pressure fires short for Darby, who's able to pick up 10 yards and the first. Offense in hurry-up mode here. 3.5 minutes to go. You want to try and score and keep the 2-minute warning on your side. As Blau, under pressure, fires short for Dunlap, who powers his way down to the 5. Goal to go Detroit. Again, they'll hurry back to the line. 2 high safeties for the Packers. Dunlap with the call, fighting his way. He's tackled at the 2. That will make it 2nd and goal. Quan Sandridge and Amon-Ra St. Brown, the outside receivers. Deshaun Stevenson in the backfield. And Stevenson will follow Jason Kabinda into the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day to give Detroit a chance. Not a lot of faith in our defense, so we'll try the onside kick. And it is recovered by Devontae Adams. The sure-handed all-pro wide receiver sealing the game for the Packers. Just 1 play left as our backup defense tries to put some respect on their name with a goal line stand here. 33 seconds to go. Just time for 1 more play. A.J. Dillon gets the call, and he is stopped at the 1. So 41-36 is the final score here as Green Bay comes out with the victory thanks to 553 yards of offense. You could tell it was our backups on the field here today. A lot of that damage comes to the air as Jordan Love throws for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. David Blau throws for 288 yards and 1 score despite completing just 47% of his passes. We'll talk more about that later. But if we're looking for some immediate bright spots in our loss here today, how about J.J. Dunlap and Deshaun Stevenson? Stevenson found the end zone twice, including a 37-yard touchdown run to open up the scoring for us, while J.J. Dunlap had an excellent game, averaging 6.3 yards per carry on 20 touches. The fact that he piled up that kind of yardage without having a gain of longer than 15 yards means that he was incredibly consistent. But if we want to talk about consistency, our passing offense didn't have much of that here today. Part of it was the coverage because Green Bay defended 14 passes as a team, including 6 from Jaire Alexander. But we just weren't seeing a lot of plays being made by guys that weren't named Dexter Allen or Keegan Darby. Nicholas Harper had just 1 reception for 5 yards 1 week after going off on the Bills, in what was a very disappointing game for him with a chance to lock up our wide receiver 3 job heading into the playoffs. Quan Sandridge and Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't really impress either, as only Keegan Darby really showed up in a battle of backup wide receivers here today. I probably could have tried targeting Dexter Allen more, especially given his torrid start to the game. He only ended up having 4 catches in today's game, and while those went for 120 yards and a touchdown, probably could have looked his way a little bit more often given the success he was having against Green Bay's defense. One area that did really surprise me here today was how well our backup offensive lineman played. Specifically, LaRon Linton had a really solid day. He's somebody that's definitely on the roster bubble heading into next season. There are better options at backup guard out there, but he showed a lot of potential and did a nice job against the interior of Green Bay's defense. That's where the positives end, however, as we shift our focus to our own defense, which was absolutely shredded here today. We struggled at all three levels. We weren't able to get any push up front or any pressure on Jordan Love. We did not do a good job against the rushing game or against the pass with our linebackers, and there were multiple blown coverages by our secondary, which led to some easy Green Bay scores. They went 5 for 8 on third down and only punted once in the game. And they were 5 for 6 in the red zone, with their only failure coming because they ran out of time to make it 6 for 6. I'm not as surprised by the outcome as much as I am disappointed that when thinking about the defense's effort here today, I can't think of anyone who really stood out on that side of the ball. Nobody was making plays on that side of the ball, which is making it hard for our team to find a silver lining about the loss here today, despite the success we've enjoyed this season. In fact, it was so demoralizing that the entire team takes a -10 morale penalty heading into the playoffs, and that pretty much wipes out all of the morale gains that a lot of our players had made over the course of a 14-3 season. Even the bye week isn't going to help us in this regard, so we're going to play the winner of the Buccaneers and Giants game with some pretty heavy penalties to some of our better players. Even guys like Dexter Allen are feeling the effects of the loss last week. He should be 80 overall at this point, but he's only a 79 overall thanks to the morale hits. I still think it was the right call to try and keep our starters safe from injury by not playing many of them, but it's going to be a challenge to be fighting morale heading into the playoffs. Morale was one of the reasons our team was playing so poorly at the end of last season. And the effect will be magnified by the fact that the other teams in the playoffs will have morale boosts from the relative success of their seasons. There is some good news, however, to come out of the bye week, and it's that the New York Giants, who we've beaten previously this season, defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17-9. I suppose I should have seen that upset coming because the Giants continue to be Tom Brady's kryptonite, as they hand him a defeat here in what might be the final game of his illustrious career. I was kind of surprised when Brady didn't retire last offseason, but he decided to try and run it back, only to make their way to a number 2 seed and a first round playoff exit, as Daniel Jones outduels Tom Brady here, throwing for 294 yards and 2 scores, while TB12 is held to 241 yards and 2 interceptions. What's even more impressive to me is that the Giants won despite not having Saquon Barkley, who was held out of the game. He'll be healthy for the divisional round here, but how about Green Bay? Their season is still going as well, despite a 21-point fourth quarter from the Dallas Cowboys. Although that does mean that the Packers are still alive and well, they are on the bottom half of the brackets, and I'd honestly rather face Green Bay for a third time than Dallas again. All 3 teams that beat us in the regular season made the playoffs here, but Washington also lost, leaving Green Bay as the only team that we lost to in the regular season at some point, still alive in the playoffs. Combine that with the fact that we don't have to face the number 2 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second round, and it's hard to imagine the wildcard round going any better for the Lions. We beat the Giants back in Week 9, which feels like a long time ago. That game belonged to our rushing attack, which turned out over 200 yards on the ground despite a mediocre day from Bob Harrison and the passing offense. I'm looking forward to this rematch. If it's anything like the first meeting between these two teams, we have a really good playoff game to look forward to, and the first playoff game in our series as well. This season has been a special one, and in the process we've managed to end several long-standing droughts for this franchise, including our first winning season since 2017, our first playoff appearance since 2016, our first division title since 1993, and now we have a chance for our first playoff win since 1991. So there are plenty of stakes heading into our divisional round matchup, but that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, have a good one, and like always, I will catch you next time.